And we are live. If you can't tell, I do not feel all that great this morning, but we are going to keep this going anyway. We are still getting a few things set up, so give us just a moment as usual. All of our pieces put together here. I think my laptop that we stream on is starting to lose steam. It is not functioning as well as it used to, but it works, so there's that. So we've got a few topics today. Thank you. But we have a lot to do today, so we have to complete by 11 o'clock no matter what.
Yes, good morning.
So there will be that. I feel really slow this morning. You have a dog.
I'm sorry you feel under the weather.
You have a friend.
Hi, Ma Petite. I'm surprised she's looking at me with this. They usually don't like masks.
Ma loves you unconditionally.
Hi, Ma. If I can get this tied. Jesus, come on. Excuse me, Ma.
Oh, God.
Excuse me, Ma.
You can't just sit on her. You do not love our dogs, do you?
I do, and don't ever dare say that again.
And don't try to sit on her. She's only 4 pounds. 4 pounds of anger and frustration.
Come on, Ma.
Good morning, Dragon.
Good morning.
How are you? I am definitely sick. Hopefully it's just a light cold. It started with a sore throat on Friday, and then, of course, I'm all blubbery today and sneezy and stuff, so Finn, we're going to make it through today, though, this morning. Got our camera fixed, so we don't have to buy a new one. Oh, these are incenses. He loves you. I'm going to miss him.
Yeah, that's right. I wish you didn't have to go out.
I do have to travel this week. I could put mine on just for when we start, but I'm going to take it off because I don't have my contacts. You want to smell it, Finny? Is that what you want?
Ma, stop it. Please stop licking me, baby. Please.
Can I know we don't have the cameras on, but literally his butt is in my face, dude. No, we can't do that. You're a sweet boy. I love him. But we're going to talk today about some stuff. I just think if we do go anywhere this afternoon, I need to go somewhere and be at peace for a minute. I don't know what. I might do something. I'm not sure yet. Our main topic today is, as you can see on the title, self-image and our self-identity and kind of what makes that up and what shapes that and how, for me, spirituality is a big part of that. And I think this is a really good discussion because I'm having my own post-game depression, which I didn't know is actually a diagnosis. So I'm learning something every day when completing a video game. And I know some people may think it sounds really silly, but human beings develop relationships parasocially around things that may or may not be real. Fiction, for example, is a really good example. We sympathize and empathize with fictional characters all the time, even in real life. And when those relationships change or something happens, you feel it, and it gives you a kind of a glimpse into situations you will never be experiencing yourself, that you can't experience. Like, I'll never be a star commander, you know? So that's kind of our topics this morning. Good morning, Unexplained. How are you? I'm trying really hard to kick this cold that I picked up this weekend. So Hey, Bubba. Hey, Bubby. So, got in it early for you, like 6:45, something like that. We're just talking about kind of what our topic today is. I'm stalling a little bit until Rook gets back from taking his medicine. About um, how things just really, to me, there's two main topics. The main topic is really going to be self-image, and what Rook is talking about. I think it might involve something to do with our masks from our masquerade last night.
Yes. Why is it different? It's how others see us different from the way we see ourselves or want to be seen.
And how much insight you can get from that.
What does that mean, and how sobering is it, or informative, when you find out the way others see you? And yes, I thought it'd be a great time to show off our masks that we made for the masquerade party because it seemed to fit with the topic.
Yeah. Wait. This isn't a good spot for you. Maybe if you can do it right there. Yeah, that better. You sit on the table.
Oh, it explained and try and good morning.
Yeah, that's
6:50.
early.
Dang.
And I'm not going to talk much about it, but a little bit about when we do our kind of, because I haven't been reading much. I've really been playing a game, and I was thinking about how I've used those games, and actually didn't know this was a topic for Rook, but also in my recent post on Facebook, the long one, I mentioned how games give you a mirror to yourself and what choices you would make in situations. And I found it interesting and connected it to my weirdness with spoilers, needing to know the end before it actually happens, because making the wrong choice is probably, and this is different from what I said the other night because I didn't introspect enough, is really my biggest fear, making a bad decision or a wrong decision that leads down the wrong path. So when I'm playing a game, normally I kind of read ahead about what's happening and what's the right choice to make this outcome, because the outcome matters to me more than the journey. And that is something I want to change.
What, wanting to know the ending ahead or trying to change the outcome?
Neither. Needing to know the outcome, and making the outcome the priority versus the journey. Because I will rush through a game and all of its choices to get to the ending, and if the ending doesn't match what I expected, it's dissonant for me, causes problems. And so I got to stop worrying so much about how this is going to end and what decision is going to make this the right ending. Because part of that is, if the ending is not the way that I foresee it, then it would ruin me on some of those things. It's very frustrating. But I have a really hard time with that stuff. Like in the game, I accidentally made the final decision and it matched with what I wanted, but it was not the easy decision. No kidding. That's the game I just finished, Unexplained. That's what's got me thinking this way, is Mass Effect, and I chose the synthesis ending on accident because I wasn't sure how to make the choice, and it was the right decision for me, and it's the right ending for me. But it's not what I expected. So it threw me into kind of a tizzy, and I started thinking back to all the other games I play, like Deus Ex and Cyberpunk 2077, and what all of these other games have meant to me. Why I like Cyberpunk so much is because it doesn't, like, the ending is, I got the ending that I expected without looking forward. And Mass Effect, same thing. I got the ending that I expected, and now I'm mad that it's over. But it really had, as it should, because fiction does. It's the fiction, we gain those behaviors, but all of those games have really affected me. Metro is another one. I almost dropped my thingy here. Yeah, and it's like it's so important to know the end, because I need that ending to be, honestly, I need it to be not necessarily happy, but successful and positive. It needs to be worth something. And then I go so fast through the story, it's like when the end comes, it's kind of like, wow, I didn't pick that up about this. I didn't really understand the importance of that decision. And so now I've been trying really hard lately to, and I probably will go back through some of these other old games like Deus Ex and Metro, which I love, and even Mass Effect, with this idea of let me really slow down and try to figure out what these side quests are. And again, one of my big personal quests is the one of the newer tattoos I have, which is side quests, like Dragon mentioned, and it is supposed to remind me to get and take the side quests. And the symbol with it is a space bar, which came from Cyberpunk, because I need to pay more attention to the side quests in life and not the magnificent opus ending, you know. And all of that is significantly engaged to my self-worth and my self-image and my value of self. And I don't think people see me the way that I think people see me. Okay. Oops, sorry. Finny is funny. Yeah, Deus Ex, all of those games that I mentioned, including Deus Ex and even Half-Life, like they have a very profound impact on me. They're games that I cannot, what do you call it? Uninstall. Like they're still installed years after I play them. And I've never been a game replayer, so I'm starting to replay things that I've played before, and it's really important. But I'm blabbing now because it's time for us to get started with our video. And I don't know, Rook, do you want to start the call or do you want me to?
All right, I'll get it
Hold on,
started.
I can't get the mouse to work. Okay.
Hear me, friends and ancestors from the east. Hear my voice carried on the air of clarity and truth. Watch over us as we cast our circle of safety and love.
See me, friends and ancestors from the south. See my flame of passion and creation seared into the energy of the universe. Watch over us as we cast our circle of limitless possibility.
Feel me, friends and ancestors from the west. Feel my love, fear, sadness, and joy washed into the waters of the rivers of compassion. Watch over us as we cast our circle of connection and motion.
Reach me, friends and ancestors from the north. Reach my feet and hands, the earth in my toes and work of my fingers. Watch over us as we cast our circle of grounding and protection.
Know me, friends and ancestors from the ether. Know my intent, know my heart, know my spirit. Watch over us as we ask you all to join us in perfect love and perfect trust.
Hear, see, feel, reach, and know. The circle is safe, the circle is sacred, and the circle is
cast. Be it
All
so.
right.
I've got my petite.
Be it so.
Oh, I like how that little thing faded out like that. That's
So
cool.
since I don't have my contacts on, I can't do this and do it in the way that I would have preferred to just wear it because I didn't think of it.
I feel like I want to go wear this all the time.
That's as close as you can get.
I like your mask. You did really.
I need to fill in
Really
some more
good job.
spaces for the next use, but and it's got a little too much black. But here, so
And what does my statement say about our topic? I want to go out all the time like this. This is how I want to present. Huh.
yeah,
Think about that as we go through today. Why would I want to present like that? I didn't even notice that we were matching shirts. And shorts. Look.
Yeah.
That was so unintentional. Wow.
I will tell
Okay.
you before we get started that masks are such an interesting comment. And I can't believe I didn't say Expedition 33 on those list of thought-provoking games.
I gotta finish that one.
They all have had such a profound effect on my self-image, and I think the way that I'm reading a book, I've been reading it for a long time, and I need to really get through it or get more into it, and it is combining at the exact same time of my feelings on these games, and it's starting to make me think that what if my spirit guides are accessing me and guiding me through games to consider things in a way that I might not in real life. Because in real life, my boss gives me a project or she says, I really wish we knew this or we had this. She doesn't even ask me to do it, and I have to get it done now. Everything else stops. I go on that, and that's my pathway. It gets done within like an hour. And then I can go back and fill it in and make it better, but I have to have a product because I'm so afraid of not having a product, an end thing. I'm so afraid of not having a set end, a thing. Like, I don't know. It's very weird. And I wonder how much of that comes through games. One of the big themes in Expedition 33 is what? Large fight. It's all about masks. You may not have got to it yet. But a big theme in Expedition 33 is the masks that we wear. So, and I know when I'm wearing a mask and I'm out doing something, hey, paranormal. If I'm wearing a mask or some kind of thing that I don't normally wear, I become less concerned about who I am because this created thing is not me. Mm-hmm. And that's what a mask does. It allows you to have a created thing. And I felt really hard last night that I can't create that thing anymore. While we were there with the mask, I'm like, I didn't feel any different. That's the first time for me. So, very, what's the word? Existential, extracorporeal, spiritual, in my feels this weekend. After finishing Mass Effect 3, I highly do not recommend it if you don't like to feel things. And I'm not even wanting to play the next game because of it.
But it's a different thing, at least.
That's why I don't want to play it.
At least
because it's not continuing the story. I need the story to continue. Oh, I hate endings. I've very, very... Scarlett pointed it out, remember? With tarot cards. I have a problem with borders. I don't like borders on tarot cards. And she went right to it and said, well, don't you think that's a problem of yours that you have with borders, things that have borders or ends? Maybe you have an issue with that. I'm like, absolutely. I have problems with endings and changes. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I don't like them. That's why I've been at the same company for 12 years. Not because there's not a better opportunity that might suit me better. Because I can't change. I can't end that relationship. And I'm really not good at establishing strong connections. That's another thing that I'm having a lot of trouble with. I'm making much stronger connections with people in video games than people in real life. But I think a lot of people can identify with that. All of my real life connections are relatively loose. Which we've talked about that a lot in the past. So the reason I kind of went into all that for me, and that's not the main topic, is because that's kind of like myself, my authentic self expression and what I think when I have my image of myself. I don't know what.
Could you open that, please?
We're also at the spring or fall equinox too, so that's another thing that's weighing heavily on me. The Charlie Kirk thing weighing heavily on me, the state of the world, all that stuff. I'm a little depressed. Not a normal feeling for me.
Once in a while, right? Sometimes around in November.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, I get it.
Yeah.
But this is early.
I'm more angry, I think, about everything and how I just feel like people are stupid and hypocrites about that whole thing. And I just, it amazes me, this whole event, which, sorry and tragic as it is, it's no more important a life or loss of life than anybody else. Especially, I'm speaking 2 months ago. I'm a horrible person to say that because it's not about that, but it is. So, I don't know, people probably don't want to talk to me about that because I have my own ways. But it is, this time of year, I get...
That's a good paranormal.
You know, I want to read all those books that you have on your shelf. Well, so do I.
Yeah.
I want to read them also.
I've read a lot of them, but not all of them. Some of them are encyclopedias and stuff, but...
I read pieces of them.
I need to write today. That's another big thing I have to do. I've got to get this out. Where my I'm in a I can't say I'm in a dark place or a bad place because it's not. I'm in a place that needs to be evaluated and expressed, and that is something I think I've learned in this lifetime that I didn't know in previous ones. Is of recognizing when I need to pull something out and evaluate it and analyze it and figure out what it is because I know it's right here. I think previous lifetimes and even as a kid, those are things I wasn't able to do, and that's what makes darkness come when you can't say, "Wait a minute, this is okay to feel this way and have this emotion and this feeling," but what does it mean? What's it trying to tell you? That's a lot about your self-image. Like I see myself as a kind person, liberal because I believe that social acceptance matters above all things. All things, money, owning, being able to be your own human being and express yourself the way that you are, and have equal rights as others in your social circles or world is the most important thing. Period. I don't know if other people see me that way though. I think like if I had to guess, I think like people at work see me as scatterbrained because I'm all over the place. I know a lot of people see me as a weak leader because I don't give demands to my team. Like I don't say I need this done by next Thursday. I say, hey, I know a lot's going on. This is what we're working on. I'll help you if you need it. But here's what I'd like you to work out. And if they do something, I don't care how bad the output is. I'm like, great job. You know, some people don't even put in the effort in. I know this isn't your strength, but here's what I would do differently. And people see that as weakness.
Because I don't know, like, and for knowing you so long, maybe, but I personally see you as like an expert, like in the clinical stuff. And so if there's, no matter where I've worked, what company, I always ask you, I'm like, what would Brian do? Because you guys don't know what you're talking about, basically. So I don't know. I see you as an expert professionally.
I think that's a real important dynamic to think about, though. Not only is there how I feel I am. Well, let me even go back even further. This is how I am. This is how I perceive myself. How others perceive you. And then how you think others perceive you. There's still that other thing out there. And that is probably the worst one.
And how you think part is probably the worst one because you don't know.
Yeah, what you think other people perceive you as. Yeah. And you know, so many people, I love this. I don't give a shit what other people think. Yeah, you do.
You wouldn't have said that if you really didn't care. Yeah.
There's a difference between how you care, you know, because we do care about how other people perceive us. We may not care about specific people because their perception is invalid based on what they say. But in general, people want to be well received and accepted. Mel Robbins is the one that taught me the difference between fitting in and belonging. I don't ever want to fit in because that implies that I had to make a change in order to fit my weird shape into the weird shaped slot of this group. But belonging means that I have been invited as myself. Let them, she says.
So I got to read that actually. Right here, left ding, 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 one of the books.
Yeah, I've got to read that myself. I've watched a lot of her videos about it, which is really cool, but and see, I don't see myself as an expert really on anything. I think I know a little bit about a lot of things.
Oh my God, you're the first person I think of. Like even I question like even high level people and where I'm at, and I'm like, oh, maybe let me call. And so a lot of times I'll text or call or ask you.
I feel like my expertise is fleeting on things. Like if you catch me at the right time, at the right day for the right question, I can get very profound, but the rest of the time I just don't really know how to put in words my thoughts. It's just like when we do these calls at work where we have to discuss significant issues. You know, like there's been a problem and we talk about it. I need to be given the information and then I need you all to go away. Let me read all this stuff and then come back. And then I can give you good advice. And I don't know. So my version of me, oh, it's really good, paranormal. You should look her up, Mel Robbins. She's one of the few people that I still listen to try to improve my mental health and well-being. I also think I project a good mental health. I think people perceive me as mentally healthy, and I think I perceive me as mentally healthy. But I think in all actuality, I have a lot of things that I need to work on that bother me. So I think we all have those feelings of difference where what we feel like who we are and what others perceive us, they're not congruent, they're incongruent. And that causes stress. We've talked about impersonator syndrome on here quite a bit. I feel like it all the time. Like, am I really in the VP circle at a company? Like, I'm not good enough to be that. And I'm not saying that to like, oh, you know how it. I think there's a healthy amount of that to keep you on your toes, to like doing better. But there's also an unhealthy amount of that with your self-image too. I feel like I moved up too fast. Most people don't get to the level I'm at by 40. This is usually a 50 or a 60 thing, you know? And I think that has hammered me in the wrong way some ways. Like I don't deserve to be here. Self-image.
Yep, how we see ourselves. So what? I talked about some things, but I read an article by no, this wasn't an article. This was just me looking up.
Is that the article?
There's an article about why. This is an article.
Oh, imposter syndrome. I didn't even see
about,
that.
Why do others see us differently than we see ourselves? But our self-image, I've read it. It's kind of like made up of different areas. So early childhood, and this one's important, I think, because it can create a positive or negative. If you're as a child, for example, are left to imagine and dream and think anything's possible, you know, you're probably going to be like, wow, I'm pretty badass, at least when you're little, right? As a child. But if you're told things like, that's not real, you can't do that, that's make believe, boys don't cry, all the stuff that's kind of like a negative thing, you're going to grow up like immediately, like not questioning things, but with a little bit different self-image. Someone who's allowed to dream and the sky is the limit and anything's possible. You know, I remember in third grade, a teacher made me feel so dumb. Well, I shouldn't say she made me, but I did, based on her feedback. We had to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, okay?
I remember those.
I didn't know.
It was all about how to do instructions, like how to make directions. To do it. Yeah.
And so I made mine, and I said I put the jelly on and then the peanut butter over it and then put it together.
You do make it wrong.
And she's like, is that on the same piece of bread? And I said, well, yeah. And she goes, well, that's wrong. And then it was like in front of the class, and it was really kind of embarrassing. And things like that just, to me, can make you question things. You know, boys don't cry. That's not right. That's not normal. You know, that we're told from young, or we could be told that anything's right and possible, and that's a different thing. And then we get into our personal experiences in life or work and kind of how we're going and what we learn and what we think we've got to do, you know, to do the right thing.
I want to go through each of these topics.
And then a big part, too, is also social feedback. So I find with social feedback, usually what's different is what people think of me or about me is usually more positive, if that's the right word, than what I'm thinking. This is not a great example, but I'm in a group where I actually lead it, and we have different meetings. It's an association, and we were going to a baseball game, and they thought they would set me up to throw the first pitch, and I immediately panicked. I had trouble breathing, had to stop, and I had to wait a couple weeks and tell them, look, I want to talk about that. I have really bad anxiety about getting in front of people. Even just to get up and talk is really hard for me. So throwing a first pitch, it's not going to work. And let me tell you another reason. It's because when I was young, I got pushed and encouraged by kind of a mean teacher to participate in a field day, which was baseball. And I did it, and I was ridiculed after, so I just can't do that. So when I told them that, they're like, oh, wow, We didn't think you would be nervous or anxious to get in front of people. We don't see that at all. So people don't know, like, and the way you're feeling or what you're trying to project sometimes doesn't match what other people think. And usually, what other people think about you, I feel overall is more positive, or is a more positive light than what you think about
I don't know about that. Like, I don't think that other people generally, maybe you personally, they think of you in a more positive light than you feel. But I don't think in general, if you look at most social media, I think people immediately assume the worst most times.
yourself.
But that I think is a product of social media. Bob, welcome back. Oh no. Share if you want to. If not, I hope it gets better.
Sorry. Sorry to hear that. Hope it gets better. Truly.
Um, I mean, I've had people like, and I've told you this story too. Well, you knew about it, I think, when it happened. And when I was at my old job as a ADON, one of the girls came up to me and resigned. And I'm like, "Why are you resigning? You're like one of the best aides we have. I know, it's new. Is it stressful?" And like, she's like, "No, because you laughed at me when I told you my grandfather died."
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I would never do that. She's like, "Well, you did." And I had to go back and say, "Look, I am so sorry. I don't know. I don't recall that, but I never would feel that that's something I would laugh at." I said, and I learned that I do laugh at things that are inappropriate because I'm uncomfortable sometimes, but I don't stop. It's again going back to the trying to get to the end. I don't stop long enough for the moment to occur. If I'd have been listening to her, she would have just said, "Hey, this happened," and I wasn't. I was probably laughing at the previous thing, and just that was rough for me to know that this person had that perception of me as such a terrible person. Um, so that's funny. But yeah, I know we've had those. A lot of us have had those experiences. I've had the experience where and this is back with the church. We had a church function when I think I was maybe 9 or 10, and we were swimming in our minister's pool, or at least somebody high up, maybe deacon, I don't know. And the pool light came loose, and everybody had to get out because it could electrocute and it was dangerous. And everybody, and I mean, there's probably like 50 kids there and 20 adults. They all blamed me, singled me out, and said that it was my fault. And I'm like, I just happened to be near it when it happened. I certainly didn't cause it to happen. And that has forever hung on me about my almost in like immobilizing fear of being accused of something I didn't do. And I think that's where that comes from. It's really crazy. But yes, this very Jungian, what you do as a child shapes you, as an adult shapes you, how your parents are shapes you, how you interact with the world around you shapes you, and then how your perceptions are shapes you. It's like all these things that kind of fit into what's going on.
They're like, how do we want to be perceived? Like, I don't have this now, but when I was younger, I would. For example, you need help, something happened in your life, you're in your early 20s, and you move back home or with a family member or something because you need help. But then when you project yourself, oh, I moved in with this person because they needed help, right? Well, the person was you, sir, at least in my case. It wasn't that I was just moving here to be a benevolent person and help somebody. I needed the help, but I didn't want people to know that, and why. Like, I don't understand why. I would never do that now.
Pride.
Why? Yeah. Why do we care so much what people think? Like, I've never been so much like trying to project like where I live or what I have or anything like that. It's more about projecting a better image about things I've done probably that I don't want people to know. And I think some of that's appropriate, but some of it's kind of like, why? Well, who cares if they don't like you or whatever? It doesn't.
Well, again,
there's nothing in your life.
It goes back to two things. One, we care about what other people think.
Right.
Because we are social creatures and we want to be liked. I don't care what anybody says. I'll go to my dying breath believing we all want to be liked. There are certain people that we don't like because of what they show us that we don't care about. That's not the same thing as just wanting to be liked in general. I'm not saying everybody has to love us. I'm saying we want to be liked. but other people who say they don't give a shit about anybody else and they're on that warpath of themselves, that to me is also a reaction to fear and anxiety. Because if I close you out and don't care what you think, then you can't hurt me.
Mm.
So that matters. You know? Like, and the second part of that is social media. We are designed to be cared for and care about and caring of the people in our circle, not people 3,000 miles away who we've never met. Because that person 3,000 miles away that we've never met says something terrible, if we were face to face, we're not getting that same impression of them. They're not giving, like, what you see on my Facebook isn't who I am. It's just very small snippets of things that I might like. So that's very stressful to me.
I really keep thinking I want to disconnect that. Like, turn it off. It's not even much positive stuff anymore to me.
I was going to say, I kind of want to turn it off sometimes too, but then I find the Chihuahua videos. But I have them. Do I need any more Chihuahua videos? I had Chihuahuas.
MySpace was so much better. The worst negative thing is when you weren't on somebody's top 10.
What I liked about MySpace is you could make long entries, like journal entries.
Like a blog, yeah.
And Live Journal. I used to use that all the time. Live Journal.
What was that?
Similar to MySpace, came out around the same time, but it's literally journaling, so other people could go and read your journal, basically. Yeah, paranormal. That's a big one. I want to be like that insofar as I don't want to care what other people think if what other people think is negative or harmful. But then I also want to know if people think things about me that are negative or harmful. And I just feel like it's more than just not wanting to be bullied or be liked. We have an innate need to belong. And that is destroyed by social media. Because we weren't meant to belong to that many people. You're not meant to have thousands of followers, millions of followers. That's not how we are designed. And there's so many better ways to do that. And unfortunately, Bob is very correct. It is easier to be hated than to be loved, because if I hate you, I don't have to. Then I can say I don't care what you say, and I don't have to worry about your things. I can put you over here and move on with my life. That makes it easier, I think.
Yes.
And hate, I think, is an easier emotion.
Oh yeah,
Very much easier. Yeah. So I wanted to go through these topics that you found, because I think every one of them applies to me. Imposter syndrome we talk about all the time.
Yeah, so there were 7 myths, I believe it is. This is by several different people in this article, and it's by psychologist Dr. Carla Marie Manley. And these myths tend to cloud our perspective. So we have some biases. So why do we see ourselves differently than others see us? You experience imposter syndrome. This is an informal syndrome that involves a person fearing they are going to be found out or unveiled as not being as good as they really are at something.
Every day.
Mainly highly successful people are quite good at hiding their fears of failure. And the real heart of the issue is that the successful person needs to learn how to accept that they are good at what they do and are deserving of accolades and praises for their hard work. So do you find it hard to receive praise? Okay.
Yes. I fold completely, and I do this next one too a lot. And like even Joy pointed that out to me a couple times. But I have severe imposter syndrome all across the board. And I'm working on that, and I'm aware of that. And yes, you can't control people's views of you. You just focus on the group. That's the same thing, and that's why for me it's been important to stay away from social media. But I have a hard time. Like I want to get out and do stuff, um, but like I have a hard time talking about it. So like with Jeremy, I'd love to get and have a long conversation, which we did with the Twisted Sunday School. Was not too bad. I loved hearing that and having a little couple moments to speak. That was actually nice. Um, but I find it hard to express my opinion and find the right words to express how I feel about things. And I'm constantly feeling overtalked and opinions being undervalued. So I don't say anything at all. And eventually I'm afraid I'm going to retreat completely to where I just don't talk to people anymore. And I don't mean overtalked like interrupted. I'm talking about people who can find and express themselves easily. So I don't mean like interrupted or like the rude kind of overtalked. I mean like they have the words to express exactly how they're feeling and talk about a situation where I don't. Like I always feel like I'm saying what I'm saying is just around the actual issue. I can't get to the actual point. Does that make sense? It is a little warm.
The next one is you minimize your abilities. Please hold.
Yep, which I do this constantly, and it says, although there are some people who tend to inflate themselves, many people devalue capacity. Rather than owning your strengths, they tend to shrug off or minimize many abilities. As a result, their self-perception lacks the honest inclusion of qualities and capabilities that are devalued or ignored. I do that in two ways. One of the main ways is I get really frustrated when people call me the techie nurse. You're really good at tech. Yeah, Brian's really good at tech. And I'm like, I'm good at other things, y'all. And I'll say that, but then I immediately feel that I'm not good at those other things. So those two hit home really hard.
You make unfair comparisons. What does that mean?
I love how I'm sharing all of how these affect me, and you're not saying anything about how they affect you.
Let's see.
And they may not, so you should say that if you don't have like imposter syndrome and stuff. If you don't feel that way, you should express your self-image.
Imposter syndrome, I don't feel too much. Now, minimize abilities. I probably do that in the way of like in a group or something. We're doing a project. I won't speak up and say, "Oh, I know how to do this." I won't do it. I kind of just want to get through. I know what I know. I know what I can do, and I'll do it in my own world, my own way.
Mystic Manny. Yeah, that's something that I find very what's the word? Not impressive, very positive about you, that you do your own thing anyway, you express it, it's out, you move on. Things are what they are. That's a good way to be. I don't do that. I need to work on that.
I think we're all a little bit too hard on ourselves. And I've recently gotten to where if somebody say, "Oh, you're really good at that," I just will say thank you and kind of move on from it and not keep self-deprecating or whatever. You make unfair comparisons. Comparing yourselves to what you see on social media is going to lead to a skewed perception of what your life should be like. People used to revel in small circles about success. We kind of talked about this, but social media allows people to shout out ideal lives to the masses. The end result is reduced self-esteem, increased depression, and unnecessary dissatisfaction with our looks, home, vacations, options, and accomplishments. This causes stress or distress and makes us perceive ourselves as less than on many levels. This is a true misconception of your genuine self. Maybe when younger, I don't really get wrapped up in that kind of stuff on social media. I get like fired up and angry about other things, not like homes and stuff. I allow my hatred to grow from posts more so than caring about. I don't try to project how I look or what I have, but I have my own vices with social media.
Yeah,
and rant.
And my social media thing is more like doom scrolling, and I constantly keep thinking in my head, like, how can people feel this way? And I try to reconcile it with, I don't know that people really do feel this way. I think they're, if people say like they speak their mind in anger, and I'm like, we're not reduced to our anger. Yeah, it's easier to express, and I think a lot of people online express things that they wouldn't express otherwise, and maybe not even feel, just because it's easy and they're surfacing that information. You know what I mean? And I gotta stop thinking that what people put on social media is who they truly are. And I know that sounds weird because people are gonna say, "Well, that is truly who you are." I'm like, no, nobody is. Social media is not who anybody truly is. There's not a single person that you can know purely off of their social media. It's just not possible, in my opinion.
Yeah. Experience confirmation. You experience confirmation bias. It's human nature to search for or interpret information in a way that confirms your preconceptions about yourself. For example, if you already consider yourself to be a thoughtful person, then you'll more readily interpret your actions through this lens, further confirming that you're thoughtful. Unfortunately, this also works to our disadvantage too. If you're depressed or anxious, then you begin to interpret your actions through that lens, and you end up confirming your negative beliefs about yourself. I think that's more mine, the negative parts.
See, that one's weird for me because I think I'm opposite.
Positive?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. I think one thing that I've been able to do is, in my opinion, is pivot things that make me feel negative. Like I can say I feel like right now I feel depressed, but I can see it and I can still apply it as though I enjoy my life. I love things around me. I love you. I love the dogs. I'm in a good place. I'm not unhappy, but I still can experience the feeling of being depressed. And that to me is a skill that I picked up somewhere. But it kind of speaks to that experience bias or confirmation bias. I mean,
Oh,
yes,
that
and you
sucks,
should.
Manny.
And what I would say to that, Manny, is I'm getting the same thing. I've had to. I mean, I've taken my family off, and I've blocked pretty much probably 100 people in the past couple of weeks. Um, and I've had that too, where people have been very attacking specifically, and it's a terrible feeling, but I try to look at it or think about it, even though I can't handle that, so I do block them. But somewhere in the back of my brain says, as a pagan, they're a human being that has a soul, and that soul is to me connected to me somewhere, and it is misguided, and it is really trying to learn a lot and really screwing up right now. So I have this tiny little glimmer of maybe that's not who they really are, and they just maybe they were beaten by a gay person. I don't know, something that makes them, because I also don't believe we're born hateful or angry. I do believe we're born with a positive um, spin, and humanity pulls that out of us sometimes. But I always try to just put that little itty bitty piece in there that I don't have to deal with them, and I don't deserve to deal with them, so I'm blocking them. I shouldn't have to go through that, and I don't like your hate. But for my own sanity, I just give them a little twinge of their soul is on a path that they've got to figure out. And it's not something that's invited into my life, but it just exists. And yeah, it's something you have to just move on from. But I do get very sad about it because it's just like, why is that who you are?
Mm-hmm.
But that question can't be answered, I think.
You're good at that. Not me. I'm like, I block and move on, but I wish them pain and suffering and don't feel bad about it anymore. I used to, but I don't know. Maybe that says I'm a dark soul.
I don't know.
I don't feel badly too often. But that's a
Very
good
much
quality about
unexplained.
You. That's a good quality.
I mean, I don't think we should have to deal with them, and I think that their human form deserves to be spited. But I reconcile it because there's a soul behind there they're going to be kicked down a notch, and I do believe that they will learn their lesson.
They'll get the comeuppance.
But they will, because we're all heading for the same place at the end, in my opinion. Everybody believes that, but the world is a hateful place, but it is much hateful on social media than I think it ever is in our present world, physical world.
You project. Psychological projection is a defense mechanism that involves attributing your undesirable feelings or emotions onto someone else. For example, you might really dislike your mother-in-law, Dr. Lee says. However, you unconsciously perceive that as a feeling you can't have. So instead, you believe your mother-in-law dislikes you. Oh, I do that a lot. If I don't like somebody. I don't know why I just can't admit I don't like them. Maybe to not want to seem mean. But I'll project it like, oh, they don't like me. She hates me. He thinks I'm stupid. It's how I feel about them a lot of times.
Yeah. Correct. And that was something I was kind of talking about a little bit earlier about, I don't want to say correct, like it's good or bad.
Good marks. High marks.
Because that's not how you manage that question, but I think that's very true, I should say. There are no words to answer the question of who am I, what am I, how am I, where am I? All of those questions to me are experiences that cannot be defined. That is part of the reason why I believe that there is a soul underneath all of this. I don't believe like they say, I don't believe I'm a body with a soul. I'm a soul with a body.
Soul with a body. Ooh, key.
And yes, you get a gold star, Bob. I don't know. That is something that I don't like about myself when I say correct, because it's so clinical. Like I do it at work all the time. And I think it's me I'm seeing it as I'm trying to be very specific that I agree with something or that it's a good choice. But I'm not at work right now. Don't laugh at me. You've gotten in trouble for that once.
Okay, look. I think it's neat that you can recognize that and identify.
It's so funny.
And I did start a new medication, and I like it because my brain is really quiet, and so maybe I'm trying to fill the space with laughter. I don't know.
Next.
You project. Now.
Next.
You rationalize your behavior. That's me, not you.
Oh, I definitely rationalize my behavior.
It's quite common for people to make excuses for their behavior by interpreting the situation or facts in a way that keeps a positive view of themselves intact. For example, to protect yourself, you instead rationalize the situation by thinking that you didn't really want the promotion anyway, because it would have been too stressful and messed with your work-life balance. I do that a lot.
I don't know if I rationalize in that way.
Well, that would have taken a lot of time. I mean, I do it a lot, but I used to do a lot. Well, I didn't want to be invited because I'm too busy anyway. I do that sometimes.
See, I don't see myself doing that either, because I'm usually the one that's just like, I hope they don't ask, because I don't really feel like doing anything.
I get mad not being asked, but then at the same time relieved because I really didn't want to go anyway or enjoy doing the thing. I just wanted to be asked. So I could say no, but be uncomfortable in doing so.
I don't know if I rationalize it like that. Like when I think of rationalization, it's really to myself. But I don't think about like, oh, I didn't want that promotion anyway. I'll be like, look, that was shitty. I didn't get the job I wanted. Like I think I'm pretty matter of fact with that. Huh. What else? I think that's.
And then, oh, sorry, you're still talking about that one?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, because I'm stuck on this one because I've always said to myself, I'm rationalizing this, but hearing it written that way, I don't know if I do that, if that's something different. Huh. You can go on. I'll have to think about it.
What did you say? I shout out for Ziggy.
Oh, yes, I miss Ziggy.
Where's Ziggy? Did I miss her?
Put the call out, yes.
Hi, Ziggy. Yeah, we missed her.
We bring Ziggy into the show.
And the 7th one is you experience denial. These are myths, okay? You've probably seen this in friends, family, or colleagues before. They seem to be deluding themselves and believing that something is not true or not happening, even though it clearly is. Unfortunately, we often do this to ourselves as well. We may be in complete denial about a negative personality trait or in denial about how our actions have negatively affected others. It's too painful for us to see clearly, so we pretend that it doesn't exist or isn't there. It is not always easy to see where we view ourselves incorrectly, but becoming aware of common patterns can help.
Joy.
You try to see yourself more accurately. I don't understand that one.
I do. I think denial has been something I've actively worked on in my life. Because I think I've overcome that trait that I had that was very bad just in my opinion. I used denial a lot. Because I would, I don't know how to express it the way I'm trying to say it. So this is one of those instances where I know what I feel, but I can't really find the right word for it. But I've gotten really good about being honest about when I feel about a situation, and I'm pretty good at stopping it and saying, "Oh, wait a minute, that's actually not right or correct, and not what I was thinking. Like, I need to reevaluate that." So those were some of the things we wanted to bring up.
Masks. Why do we wear them? Do we see ourselves differently than others? Yes. Usually, yes, at least in some ways. And why? Early childhood, personal experiences, social feedback. If you experience a negative reaction from others, I think that's one reason we put a mask on or can. Whether we should or shouldn't.
You'll hear a lot of times people say that when they dress up in drag or put on a mask or a costume or dress up, they feel like a different person because they can separate all of the things they are with the thing that they are acting as at that moment. And I really think that that's probably one of the key takeaways for this discussion today is if we can be aware, even if we're not good at all the pieces, if we can be aware that I feel how I am, I perceive myself sometimes differently than I actually am, but I'm aware of it. Others perceive me, and that matters. It does, no matter what. We wouldn't all be all up in arms about Charlie Kirk if we didn't care what Charlie Kirk thought and taught other people to think. We care. But also how others perceive us, and that we perceive how we think others perceive us. If we can work on all those things like together and kind of think about those things, I think we can be a much more strengthened and thoughtful group. Yeah.
A few minutes. Oh, 11. I do have to.
Oh, you're not going to do tarot?
You're
not going to do cards?
For 15 minutes. So.
Well, we're not leaving people out. Who wants some cards? We'll keep the conversation going, but who would like a couple of cards?
I love you.
Anybody?
Look at this precious. She's a baby.
Yeah, and Manny, I think that's a little bit different. The love of acting and performing really is that performance art versus the masking of, trying to be somebody different. And I think that's a lot like what do you call it? Like video games. When you're dressing up and acting and performing in that manner, it's a lot like video games. You're experiencing things that you wouldn't otherwise experience as that character or as that person or as that situation. I think that's a pretty simple way to look at it. I swear, we're going to have to get a new mouse. This thing is driving me nuts. All right, so we've got Mystic Manny Dragon, Joy, Bob, Paranormal. Anybody else would like a card?
I will take them up to show them.
Nope, we got our thing working.
Oh, we do? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave my can here to block out the sun.
Daily dose of kratom.
And you can see my gorgeous piece of moss malachite that we talked about last week. And my shungite. Because last week our conversation needed lots of filters. All right, and I'm going to add me.
Put me
So we have Mystic, Dragon, Joy, Bob, Paranormal, and me. Just kidding.
Me.
Oh, I have to transition that, don't I? This is
oh my, who is that?
Shut up. It's the devil.
Oh, of course.
I'm just trying to see if the cards will. You can see the whole card there. We'll use the little thing to. Yeah. So we do have it fixed. I had to clean it off and restart it a few times. I think I about killed that. And yes, Joy, I think the authentic self is something that we all strive for consistently and constantly. But when you're actively doing it, it does mean something different. All right, looks like Manny is up first.
Manny. Mystic Manny.
I'm using the Light Seers Tarot today. I haven't used this one in a long time, but it is a really good tarot. Especially to me, good. That's your Kapal. Love it.
Oh, I love it. I think I need to put my mask back on for this.
It doesn't cover your nose. You have the fan on, it's hitting you directly.
Oh my god, what? Oh yeah. I don't know if I can get it back on. I feel this would be a mask wearing time. Alright. Mystic Manny. God, it itches.
Yes, it
feathers.
is.
I didn't think that through.
What?
The placement of the feathers, I should have put them up top, maybe.
No.
This
like
is where they were
them.
meant to be. So.
Well, this is good. It's hot in here because our air conditioner's not working.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hot in here because the air conditioner's not working.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Again. Yep, it's 79 degrees in here because the AC will not cool. It just does this randomly. I'm going to go flip that breaker. Yeah, turn it off for a couple hours. We'll have to open some windows.
They are constantly worked.
All right.
Mystic Manny.
Mystic Manny.
Excuse me. Excuse me for burping, everyone. Show. Bless you.
Excuse me. Ooh.
Look, I can't put my glasses on.
Yeah. Manny, your card is the Nine of Swords. Man, let me just say, the swords are showing up so hard right now. I mean, constantly. Every pull is starting out with swords, and it's been the 8, 9, and 10 of swords. So I am, and not specific to you, Mystic Manny, in a grand trend of things, this world is seeking new knowledge, and it's recognizing that there is something that is dying out. Something major is dying and letting go. And I think it can, and I don't know if it's knowledge or something that is coming out of it, but it is a good thing. I have been feeling so positive about the swords I've been pulling lately, which is not normal. Pulled them last night on Apocrypha. The Nine of Swords is this feeling of desolation, of things are not going well, things are failing. The world around me is collapsing, and there's nothing I can do about it. And that's true. We cannot do anything about it because the Ten of Swords, who's next, says it didn't work. The thing you wanted failed. But if we look further down the road, we can say that it's got to stop, because if it doesn't, the next good thing or better thing isn't going to happen. So the Nine of Swords is, yes, a moment that is sad and disappointing and frustrating, and but that whatever that is, that system, that process that involved what's making us sad had to fall off. It has to stop so that the next correct thing can come in place. So this could be the end of multiple lines of incorrect thinking. It could mean chasing down a thought that we think is just this has to be it, this has to be it, and it's not going to be it because it's something else. And if we hyper focus that this is the answer when it's not, we're going to miss the correct answer.
All right, and I drew earthing, grounding, centering, and connection. And it's just saying this week, take peace and quiet and joy, and taking it back to the base, just back to simple stuff this week. Things feel a little bit crazy. Just touch the ground, smell some incense, and just enjoy the basics of things.
Yeah,
Just pretty.
I love that card.
Yeah.
There's a very pretty deck. How can I find mine?
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
So that to me is saying the answers that you are trying to get are not the answers that one would expect, and you're gonna find that answer through the end result of what's next. What message do you need the most right now? So Dragon is next and has a question. What message does she need the most right now?
Ooh.
Let's see what we get.
Do I need the most right now? All right.
Dragon Dancer, the Seven of Pentacles, says that right now the message that you need to do is, even though you're feeling connected, there's something that's rooting much deeper than even you're giving it credit for. So a lot of times the Seven of Pentacles it's right before the card that we call the Masterwork card, which is really like just being all in it and doing everything as it's supposed to be, and it's great, and it's pride-inducing, and it's good, and it's skilled, and it's your strength. We're at the moment right before that, which says we have started something that has grown these great, strong roots, but we're not seeing it. So pay attention to the things that have think of mushrooms, like in this plant. You've seen how deep those roots are, and we've been talking about mushrooms a lot lately. So take advice from the mushrooms that right now we're maybe focusing a little bit too much on what's right above and missing all of the different pieces that are underneath. Seven of Pentacles is always a reminder. It kind of goes with our topic today too, with self-image, that we are masters of our craft, and we will get there because the Eight of Pentacles tells us we're going to get there. So the Seven brings that same energy of, I am doing this the right way. This is going the way it needs to go. I need to be a little more patient, but I also need to look a little bit deeper into what's going on so that I can see all of the different pieces of it. And that's to me, this is a very positive direction card. Like it's saying things are moving correctly, things are going correctly. You're reaching that master status and that pride work that, you know, your magnum opus, sometimes people say, for the Eight. So if you think about the Seven being right before that, what do we do before that? Like when you're in the work, you're like, oh, this isn't good, or you're starting to write something and you throw that away because it's not good enough. Maybe what you're doing is good enough. Maybe we just need to look at it differently and kind of pay attention to those things underneath.
And I drew the Scavenger, desperation, scarcity, and wanting. So you're looking for something possibly it's right there. It's just not glaring or obvious. So kind of pay attention in the quiet or darker moments this week, because what you're looking for is there. It's just not big, bold, loud, and like a trumpet. Like a sun. It's more like a little pile of dirt with something hidden right there.
I love that card.
The Scavenger. Yes.
Hope that gives you a little bit of something. Feels like the message is positive, right direction. Give yourself a little bit more credit. Give the process a little bit more time. And really think of what's underneath there. Joy is up next.
Joy.
I think when we're done, not as part of this, but I want you to do a full read, like a full reading. I need a full reading right now.
Okay, I can do. Joy.
Joy.
Mm-hmm.
Joy. Knight of Cups. This is a really cool card, and it really has this air of, and you can see it, he's holding, it looks like roses or carnations, one of the two, but they're red. And this guy's like, let's get this going. Remember, when I think of the court cards, I think of them in terms of like, the easiest metaphor for me, or the way to say it for people is freshman, junior, sophomore, senior. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. That's what I mean. So the Knight's the sophomore. Not, he's in the system. He's really deep into it, deep into the learning and deep into the things that are happening and going and all these different things that are going along. Like he's already experienced the initiation, experienced the induction, heading towards mastery, and now has the knowledge, but is using or putting in a new set of experiences. And from the Cubs' perspective, that new set of experience involves the people around you and getting deeper in with them than you normally do. And so the Knight of Cups is coming and saying, hey, you've learned something new. You have really, really started into this new. Are we still frozen? Just double check. Can you guys hear us? I'll keep going too. Where is, I just want to check. Oh, yep, we did have a blip. But it looks like it has returned. Just let us know. Yeah. Thanks, Bob. We did. There was a dip in our frames. We dropped about 21 frames there, like just out of nowhere. So hopefully, maybe some of you guys didn't see it, but it definitely blipped on our end too. I'm gonna continue for now since the video's still going. And what I want to say about the Knight of Cups, is that we're in this space of really using what we've learned recently and experiencing it in a new way that we haven't done before, that is in line with all of the people and things and energies around us. Not saying that we weren't before, but saying that moving forward or in this, because this is a new set of information. There's a new teaching that's happening. There's a new social and human and energy engagement that the Knight of Cups is talking about here. So that's it. Becoming a master of a new stuff, a new thing, really.
And I drew on point with our topic today of masks, kindred spirits, rewilding, true magic, or true nature, self-love. It's just saying this week, enjoy your maskless, true, natural self and celebrate it this week. It's a positive thing. I can't picture Joy ever putting on masks for anyone, but just enjoy your maskless self.
Well, you hang on just a minute, okay?
All right.
I like that one. I think it goes along with the other one, which you gotta stay down for just a second, honey. I'll pick you back up, I promise. Joy, hopefully you got all that. The recording did keep going. We had a little bit of a blip, but the ultimate message really is, I think, continuing to not use your mask and using new knowledge or new things that the Knight of Cups has brought you to then disseminate that information into actual experience and work now that you have this new knowledge or new thoughts. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? But you got in my field, so you're gonna get it. My petite. Bob is up next.
La Petite.
I really like the Knight of Cups because it's the one knight to me that is not all business.
I love
Most of the nights are all business, and they just want all the information and everything together. It's all one thing. It's just they're all about the doing. The Knight of Cups, though, is not. The Knight of Cups is more about the process and the how you feel about what's happening and engaging others around you. All right, Bob. Bob Bobson. Am I deluded? Okay. Let's see if we get some delusion cards. There are some very specific cards that can answer that question in the tarot. Hey, my little luck dragon. She's so pretty. Are you gonna... Oh my gosh, she's so precious.
La Petite.
So I drew the Five of Wands. Interestingly, if this was a 6, that would have been one of the cards. The 6 of Wands, the Devil. All of those can potentially mean that we are self-deluding. This one doesn't mention that. This one doesn't feel that. What it does say, though, is that there is a significant hardship at the moment that you're not overcoming. All of the 5s across the board for me are the stuck middle. They are the heaviness of the thing. They are the hard energy that's just really pushing us out and all the opportunities that come with it. In this particular case, the opportunity is we're feeling like we have writer's block. Like we aren't able to get out what we're trying to do or say or experience. We can't find the right words. We can't express ourselves, and we're coming to a boiling point. So I can't say that this means you are or are not deluded, but what I can say is it means that you are not expressing yourself in the true factor or true meaning of what you're trying to say. It's not saying that you're lying or you're falsing. It's just saying you're having difficulty to really get out the situation that's going on and get to the next step. So this is a stuck card. It's I am stuck. I'm not able to move forward. In order to move forward, you've got to figure out what that stuck is to get to the next point. So, like I said, can't say delusion, can say opportunity, difficulty, stuck, and need to really figure out what is holding you back from clarity.
And I pulled Spring Rain, Cleansing, Renewal, Metamorphosis. And to me, I don't get a delusion from this card. Maybe a change, maybe a process, maybe an adjustment. Thought process change, or I don't know, but I don't get delusion from this. I get more of a change or a process. It's beautiful. I hope you can see it. It's like the butterfly right next to, what's that thing called?
The chrysalis.
Chrysalis.
What I really like about this one is Spring Rain. So let's lose a couple of our connections and I forget what they're called. Correspondences. What is spring? Spring is renewal. It's the rains that begin the growth period again. Spring is also the start of the zodiac. It is also the east. It is the sunrise. It is the breaking dawn when things become illuminated. So if you put all those things together with this, you're thinking, okay, the cleansing rain is what's going to help you clear out what you need to figure out, right? Because the other card says there's something that you're not able to express, the Five of Wands. This is saying you need, if I was a betting person, I would say you literally physically need to go out into the rain and just stand there and imagine the rain washing all of the stuff off of you so that you can see clearly. That would be a ritual I would do with these two cards. Or shower. I do that in the shower too. Like sometimes when I'm really stressed out, having those thoughts in a shower and letting the shower water, it's better in the rain to me, but having the shower just wash everything off of you and picture it washing off of you. It's one of the reasons why I use a lot of East correspondences in our face wash. And a little bit of summer. So Bob Bobson, hope that gives you some information. Go next. Paranormal is up next. P-Dub. Sorry, VG, it's hot in here, baby.
Sorry, Alicia. I'm not Alicia, I'm Lucia.
I guess she'll be going to school every day this week if it's this hot. She'll need the break. All right, Paranormal. My first card for you is the Four of Cups. We'll have to find a better way to get the cards to stay up at some point with the fan. So this Four of Cups, as you can see, is very bright. Now, if you can see her expression, it's definitely thinking, but it's also a little sad. The Four of Cups does bring with it this feeling of, why is it not working? Like, why am I having trouble? Why is this thing not going the way I want it to? But the Four of Cups also is hope. It's this idea that, and you can't see it probably, but there's this cup in the bottom corner that has the rainbow coming out of it. There's a hand underneath it. And that represents somebody extending you a bowl. Which reminds me of Bula's. And it's really needing people around you to support you. So the spirits really are asking you to pay attention to accepting whether it's a physical or spiritual gift of positivity and allowing it to happen. So maybe somebody's offered you something, to kind of help you feel better, and you're afraid to take it. But there's a hand there somewhere, whether it's spiritual, whether it's physical. Somebody's holding this fourth bowl with everything in it, and you're not taking it. So you need to consider taking it and saying, you know what, this time I'm gonna take the help. I'm going to let somebody in so that they can give me some positive energy and really grow me into this positive thing. I can definitely see that. She's just like, to me, what she's like saying is like, Jesus, come on, this again? Like, really? Again? But she's not recognizing or looking or seeing. She sees all of her empty cups. They're empty. She's not looking over to see the hand with the cup that's full. And she can just reach out and take it. And that's okay. We're allowed to do that. So, yeah, whatever you're working with energetically, accept the hand that they're giving you. It's not free, but it is full. And you need full right now. Four of Cups also comes up for me when it's in larger spreads. So I'm not getting it necessarily here, but just so you know, in larger spreads for an oncoming depression or sadness that we can overcome because we're right before the fives. We can overcome it if we accept the help of our friends. So that's my other meaning for that one.
All right. I pulled for you Blue Moon. Opportunities, divine power, and clarity.
You fell over.
Oh, and to me, what it is saying is to take the gift of the clarity.
Oh, look.
It's coming to you.
I don't want to cut you off, but the glare is perfectly on the moon.
Oh, that is funny.
That is funny.
So whatever your intuition is, I can't breathe, telling you this week, take it and accept that bit of clarity. Because it's coming out. It may be subtle, but it is a gift of truth, clarity, and direction. Please take that from spirit or a source or however you want to identify that. It's pretty. She's a big woman.
Or just run the fan for a few minutes. JC, I might be calling you for some advice because the guy said there's nothing wrong with our air conditioner, and the lines are clean, and it just keeps stopping, not working. But the guy said it's fine. All right, JC's up next.
Congratulations on the new job, PW.
That is awesome. A lot of times when we get to this point where we are exasperated and we just don't trust anybody anymore, we lock down the ability to take help. And that's really the worst time. Let me double check. Our internet has been having a rough time lately. 32. Doesn't look like on our end I've dropped any things this time, so I think we're still running. There might be something wrong with YouTube, because I will say when I was watching YouTube this morning, it was freezing up a lot. So, but we're not showing a drop on our end. Actually, since the last one, we have 0 misrendering, encoding, or bits. Oh, haha. So it's not freezing up. I appreciate that. See, I'm hyper. That's how I get my assumptions. It's not freezing up. It's just literally while it's running, it'll be going, then we'll recognize, wait a minute, it's not cooling in here. And then we go and look at it, and the outside compressor, the fan, I guess whatever you call that thing outside, isn't on. Like, it just stops turning on, even though the inside fan is still running. And then usually if I turn it off and go out and reset it, it'll restart. But I can't reset it, like, you know, I'm doing it like once a week now. And the drain lines, that's what used to cause the problem. They're fine. It's dry as a bone. I vacuumed it out. Furry Rage! Long time no see, man.
Furry.
Alright, JC. Swords again. King of Swords. Alright, this is a really cool card. I'm telling you. Swords are all over the place right now. We are in a world of learning new things. We are in the time, energies the last couple of weeks, and I think this is going to be a foreseeable future. We are entering a time of swords. And it's really this whole idea that knowledge is power, and knowledge allows us to do things. And the King of Swords is the master of that. He's like, I know things. I've got the information at my hands, and I know how to use it, and I'm gonna use it. So when King of Swords comes up in this, in a read, it's telling me that you know. I know, huh? But the King of Swords is saying, you know what to do. You know and have experiencing. This is like the opposite of imposter syndrome. It's, you know what you need to know. You're not seeking anymore. You've sought, you've attained the thing that you've been working on, but you now have to use that. And he says, because swords are all about opportunities and decisions, he says, yes, whatever you're asking yourself, do you need to do it? The answer is yes. He's a very big, right now, it's a very big yes card. Very big, your decision, whatever your decision is to do something, the answer is correct. I should clarify, that's what I mean by the yes card. Meaning, if you say no to something, it was the right decision because you've already had what you need to learn. If your answer is maybe, or if your answer is I'm not deciding yet, or the answer is not to respond, or the answer is yes, all of those, whatever your decision is, it's the right decision because the King of Swords represents that you have been the freshman where you had to jump in and learn something. You've been the sophomore where you learned how to be the thing. You've been the queen where you experienced everything. And now you're the king, you're executing. So it is time to execute whatever it is you're working through.
In Furry Rage, that means that you woke up exactly when your body needed to. Take in that rest. Get all the rest you need. I pull poisons and toxins. Fear, negative thoughts, self-loathing. This week, push out any negative thoughts you have, whether brought about by others or just in your own mind. It's toxic. It's not doing anything, and it's a waste of time. Just push it out as soon as something negative, whether you think about someone, yourself, or a situation, just push it out. Don't give any space to that this week, any negative thoughts or fear or self-down talk. Push it out.
Yeah. Push it real good.
Baby,
so that is for today.
Baby.
Bob, I'll mention that we had an HVAC guy come out probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago maybe, and just literally said there's nothing wrong with your system. The interior runs fine. It's not wet. We changed the filter. The air moves fine. One thing that is different that didn't used to do is we get a puff of hot air before we get cold air. That's new. I haven't experienced that before. But yeah, it's I'll look into that. I'm not even sure what the condenser is, where that would be. But I might have to look at that. I'll do some Googling.
Yeah.
Because it's just randomly doing it too. Like like I said, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, it just went out.
Wonder if we should leave it off for like an hour.
It's still off. It's running air, just the fan right now.
I mean, I wonder if that'll help. Like,
that's what I did last time. I left it out an hour.
They're just run constantly here.
It is. It does run. I mean, it
In the
runs
state.
for 35 minutes and then it's off for 5. Then it's back on.
Just with our situation, I don't know if the mini splits would run the same way, but
Yeah,
they're
the
just
difference with the mini
constantly
splits is
used.
each one individually cools an area, so it's not as stressful on the system. Because it also has to dry the air too, which I'm guessing is what the condenser uses. But
I like the mini splits.
is that the big round thing?
Mini
Like the big round thing with the fan? Or is that the thing that's in the roof, the attic? Thank you for that. I'm glad the reads hit home today. Generally, I have noticed if I meditate a little bit beforehand, which I should always do, sometimes I don't before our meetings, our conversations here, the reads are different. I really, really have to focus on doing that more because I think that is one of the missing pieces of our situation. And I can say this conversation today has been very cathartic and very positive and needed for me. So I appreciate that.
He doesn't feel well. He needs to rest.
I want to keep it going. I want so much more conversation. I could talk on this for hours upon hours, but we have an engagement in about 45 minutes.
Yes, an engagement.
So
I'm hyper today.
well, that's the one he tested. So, yeah, what did no, that was a capacitor they replaced the last time.
What'd you call me?
The capacitor. I do want to get a real soft start kit put in. So now might be the time to do it. Maybe it's just ready to go. I don't know. If it does go out though, we're keeping the fan. We're gonna put mini splits in, and that's it.
Fuck yes, mini splits.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I'm gonna reset it, see if that fixes the problem, and then, Gina, I'll call you.
I like mini splits as you can turn them on and off as you want.
And thank you, Bob. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think. In the big case outside that we have a little square box on the outside. I think that's kind of like the power thing, and then on the inside there's a round motor, I think, and then there's another squarish looking piece in the corner. But we have mini splits in our garage, and the thing is amazing. Especially if the power goes out.
Yes.
We want to get 3, but our problem is our power box is full. We can't put any more things in our power box. So, I don't know what we do at that point. Because we can't add any more breakers. They're all taken, and they're all doubled when they can be doubled too. So there's no more spots to put them in. So I don't know how we'll make that happen, unless the air conditioner truly does go out all the way, and we just take those breakers out and don't use them.
Petite.
Or get a daughter board if that's even allowed. I just don't want to blow up our house.
My name is my petite and I'm beautiful.
But anyway, thank you for the advice and the information. Thanks for allowing us to pull cards, and thank you for the discussion and allowing us to have a conversation about all these fun topics. And we appreciate you taking your time on a Sunday to come out and hang out.
Upgrade the breaker box. Whoop, let's upgrade. Yeah.
Well, the last time the guy came out for the main board, for the mini split that we put in the garage, which a little mini split keeps that whole 500 square feet perfect. But when he came out to do that, he said he could install a daughter board for $1,200, which is just, I guess, another board for breakers that's kind of fed into it that does different things. So I don't know if that's allowed, but we're a 200 amp service. If the mini splits are going and the AC kicks in, we might blow our main circuit breaker. I'm afraid. I don't know how that works, because we also have a Tesla and a solar system. But we will figure it out. Again, thank you. Much appreciated. You guys are awesome. And we will see you again soon.